So yeah, right after he shot his on the wall, you know, he took me down to the mirror, and I'm standing there in my bra, looking in the mirror, and I did. Man, my 20-something-year-old body. If you think my 40-something-year-old body looks good, you should have seen my 20-something-year-old body. I didn't appreciate it when I had it. What, my Kaden? I know you're sad. All I said was get out, because mommy's trying to make a video and have an inappropriate conversation without you standing over me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you sad. Can we shut my door, please? I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it.
That's you.
So anyway, he puts me in front of the mirror and has me do the work, and I break down, and I really start doing soul searching. After that, I would say I would want to date him. I wanted him to be my boyfriend. It was really weird. The same thing happened with Angel's dad. I really wanted him to be my boyfriend. Like, it was weird. And he was like, how can I date you when you don't even have a car? You're driving your boyfriend's cars. And I was like, well, okay. And I go and apply for a car. I get my car and I call him up and I say, okay, I got me a car. We could date now. And he was like, how can I date you when you live in your dude's house? You don't even got your own place to stay. And I was like, okay. And so I go and I apply for a condo, and the lady, as soon as I walk in, she's like, oh my gosh, the previous buyers just backed out 5 minutes before you walked in. And I got my condo. And I called and I was like, okay, I have my car in my house. Can we date now? And it disappeared. I never heard from him again. I saw him years ago. I hate when I say never and then I say but. But anyway, I saw him once, years later, at a nightclub, and I said, you changed my life. Because he did. Him standing me in front of that mirror, and telling me he can't date me unless I leveled myself up, because I didn't have the capacity to level myself up on my own. And so, you know, I understand Bailey's defeatist attitude, because I had it. Every major move in my life, even with you, I say that I elevated you, but you elevate me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Every major move I've made in my life, a man has been attached to it, and it's not even that he did something for me. It's just something about me linking with a man. It propels me forward. Kanye West has never been told no, and it shows. What's good, John Lonnie Apple 20? We have a couple minutes. I have a couple of thoughts. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about Kanye West right now, and he really gives off, I was never told no as a child. And I really love that for him. Because he's never assumably been told no, he knows no limitations. See, when we tell our kids no, we're telling them that they can't do something. And every time our child is told no, that plants some sort of seed within them. For me, my dad told me no so much I stopped asking and I started sneaking. For some people, they get told no, so they start expressing or experiencing self-doubt. You never know how being told no is going to manifest for the individual. But we definitely see how never being told no manifested. Ladies and gentlemen, Kanye West. That man thinks he can fly and walk on water at the same time. And I love that. I love his confidence. I love how he has walked into rooms where he's the only one in the room who looks like him and owns it. Now I'm assuming, I'm old Lonnie over here sitting on her bed, but I'm assuming the deals that he has inked means he had to walk into those rooms with some sort of confidence and walked out with a deal, and a favorable one at that. So I want a little bit of Kanye in my kids. I don't want to say no so much to my kids so much that they stop asking, they stop reaching, they stop thinking that they could fly. I don't want to do that to my kids. And they say that Kanye West is delusional. Why? Because he doesn't live within the limited confines that most of us live in? That he doesn't fall in line and fall in place? That he dares to believe the complete opposite of everybody else and verbalize it? We all don't agree with each other, but not half of us have the confidence to actually admit it. Half of y'all are really going along with stuff that you don't believe in, but you're going along with it because you're afraid to be seen as someone who doesn't go along with it. Let's have these moments with ourselves so that we can be truthful with ourselves. We can reach our fullest potential, because some of us are shrinking ourselves because we're afraid. Whether we're afraid of our own greatness or we're just afraid to be seen as somebody who's not following the herd. And it's okay. Recognize that about yourself, that you can start evolving that. I think we think if we recognize a shortcoming or whatever about ourselves that we're saying something about ourselves. No, we're giving ourselves a chance to heal. You want to figure out why you're so unhappy? Figure out the lies that you're telling yourself to fit in. And Kanye don't do none of that. He doesn't have to, because he was never told no. Now, unfortunately, you got to deal with the bratty outbursts and behavior that comes with a kid who was never told no. You want to see a kid throw a tantrum who's never been told no? Ladies and gentlemen, Kanye West. You know the difference between me and most? It's that I find a lesson in everything. Every interaction is a possible learning opportunity. We are spiritual beings having a physical experience. We came here for a specific reason. It is our job to get connected enough. First of all, it's our jobs as parents not to deter our kids. Their individuality is truly expressing why they came to this earth. But when we try to make them assimilate to who we want them to be and who they are to be in this family unit, we are knocking their purpose and why they came to this earth right up on out of them. But also, if we know that we came here for a specific reason, and we know that everything we encounter along the way is to either help us progress or to keep us in line, then why would you have a conversation and not seek meaning from it? The simplest of interactions, there is meaning. And if you're not deriving meaning, you are missing an opportunity to propel you forward. So today, our child called us and said that there is this man that have showed up to their job twice now. And somehow during the back and forth, this individual has given them their name. And so she calls Dre, and of course I'm ear hustling, and is telling Dre about the situation. And the way that Ezra moves is Ezra is going to research the research out of the research.
You see what she dug deep into that nigga.
Yeah,
like
she did a deep dive. Yeah, she did a deep dive into this individual, and he has a history of harassing people, of getting arrested. What do they call those crimes where you're doing racist stuff? What are those types of crimes called? Hate crimes. So he has an arrest history of this behavior. And so they called us, and, you know, I told them they need to arm themselves. And so I told them to arm themselves, to keep their head on the swivel. I had a chip in the back of my throat.
Okay.
And so they sent me the name, and I started looking online, and I was like, no, you need to tell your manager you want a store transfer, and if they don't give you a store transfer, you need to quit. Because this type of person, not going to say this will become that situation, but this type of person ain't the type of person that you can do anything to. But Jay was like, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to say something, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, but even with that, you don't want to aggravate a person like that, because you got them riled up in your presence, but you're not always going to be there. So the best solution is for Ezra to remove themselves completely. Unfortunately, she's going to have to find another job. This individual has burnt that job for them. But that's the only... Our little girls, I'm not talking Ezra anymore, I'm just talking our children, find themselves in these situations where they're being stalked, and they see the first sign and they ignore it. Ezra trusted their gut, and Ezra, we now have a lot more information than had we not. And I just want to tell this story to say, trust y'all's guts, and at the first sign of a crazy muff, get out of Dodge.
They really crazy.
They really crazy. Don't let these men know where you live when you go on dates. I'm talking 6 months in, you still going to meet him. But you knew you wasn't really feeling him off top, but he was paying you attention. So he don't need to know where you live anyway, but that's another video.